Hi everyone, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening. Today is Hydrangea Day. We are adding some.
And we are counting some.
Welcome to our garden here in Zone 5B/6A in upstate New York. Today we are in the hydrangea room. Behind me is a room of hydrangeas that we planted last fall. And it's a nice mix of different smooth leaf hydrangeas that were inspired by a visit out to Michigan last summer. Currently in the back row, there's a mix of Invincible Sublime and a mix of Invincible Lace with Incredible Blush and Incredible White. And then right here at the front edge, we have some Invincible Rubies. Now you can see the blooms are a little bit faded. Also, we've been cutting off some of the flowers to make arrangements and enjoy inside. But Invincible Ruby stays pretty narrow. It's a nice maybe 3 to 4 feet tall, 3 wide maximum we've noticed. So we're gonna add some more Invincible Rubies into the hydrangea room today. We have some nice gallon-sized specimens that we'll be adding in. So I'm thinking we're gonna try and squeeze in, might sound a little crazy, but we're gonna try and squeeze in 4 additional hydrangeas right here. So it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then pop one in the center here to create 4.
Invincible Ruby is an arborescens or smooth leaf hydrangea. It's hardy in zones 3 through 8. And for our purposes, it's great, not just because it's my favorite of this particular breed of hydrangea, but it also stays more on the narrow side. So it's going to be able to be tucked in a little bit closer than some of our others. Now, I know Eric had wanted to add in a few on this side, which I think is going to fill in very nicely. And yes, one right in between here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nice block. And this one I'm not 100% on. Personally, I'd like to see another one right here in this gap, but I know Eric was thinking about over there being a little closer together.
What about where your foot is right now? This is one of the things that you can do with smooth leaf hydrangeas is just kind of bulk them up.
Yeah, I think this is going to work really nicely.
I think so too.
For tools, let us take a look here. We're going to be using the root slayer shovel, of course, especially close to the tree roots. We'll be gentle, but we definitely have to get in there. Regular old big shovel, Dewalt cordless drill, a generic auger. I forget where I got this one. I think I actually got this one on Amazon. Gardener's Supply lifetime trowel. And this is that Carbon Pro G experiment that we're running.
We've been using Penobscot all season for the mycorrhizome, but we ran out of that.
We ran out.
And then when we were in Cape Cod for the Hydrangea Festival,
yes,
Pamela Vasquez, the head gardener for the Chatham Bars Inn, which has all those gorgeous hydrangeas, she recommended using this.
Yeah, she puts that in every one of her planting holes, so she can't be wrong. So let's go and get these in the ground.
I figured I'd start in the easiest spot, which is where I know this one is going, right here. These are little 1 gallons. They are going to double in size in just 1 year. What's hysterical, if you can believe it, this Invincible Sublime, this was a 1 gallon last year. That Invincible Lace was a 1 gallon last year.
They grow real quick.
This is what it looked like when we planted them. You can remember, I mean, we have it on video. So I'm just gonna push some of our compost aside. We use compost as mulch. There's already drip here, which is great. I'm gonna plant right in front of that. I'm gonna try the auger. Fingers crossed there's no major roots or anything. I think there might be some bulbs in here, I was feeling.
Yes, there are a ton of bulbs in there, actually.
Yeah, these are what, snowdrops?
Summer snowflake.
Summer snowflake, so then I'll just put them back in.
Exactly.
Push this aside. Double check my hole. See, it's a little deep. We don't want to plant smooth leaf hydrangeas too deep at all. We want to make sure they will not thrive if they're really deep. So do that. She said 2 handfuls in every hole, so that's what I've been doing.
It's been really fun using this. It's technically a lawn fertilizing product, but it's organic. And it's supposed to make your soil very happy.
Oh yeah, there are worms in there.
Wow.
It's funny. So this is going to do a nice job of bulking up these rubies. It's almost clearance time at garden centers too for like end of year sales. So if you haven't been to your garden center all season, now is a great time to do it. Smoothing out the compost, pulling it back away. What do you think?
Beautiful.
And we'll do this one right here.
This will be a little harder to do because you're tucked in underneath some stuff.
I think I'm actually going to move it forward.
My little mushrooms. They're getting a patina finally.
I know. That's
Yeah,
going to be enough room.
There's enough room.
And
if it gets pushed forward a little bit, it'll look great.
oh, right in front of the drip.
Even better. We did learn quite a bit about the drip irrigation this season. Some things need just more than you think.
I might have gotten a bulb caught up in that, but
Oh, that's okay.
I think we have a plan regarding alliums in this space, right, Christopher?
Yeah, I'd love to see lots and lots of alliums popping up through the hydrangeas because especially this particular kind of hydrangea, they will cover up the ugly leaves as they yellow on the alliums.
And in my head, I feel like planting alliums is gonna keep the deer away.
That's true.
Like
They don't like smells.
if it's all like onions up in here, hopefully the deer will stay away. All right, now we're gonna get into a little trickier business over here. This one might actually not be too bad. Wish me luck.
Here we go.
I'm bracing with 2 hands so that I don't hurt my wrist if I do run into something. Nope. Look at those roots.
Yep, you've got roots. It's kind of handy to be planting 1 gallons and not something larger in this space.
So what makes the root slayer so good is it's got this blade right here, and it's got all these little blades right here. So, yep. And so I do think we have to add extra drip to this space because of this birch tree. Because I noticed that this Incredible did not thrive this year.
And it's the one that's the closest to...
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't have thrived.
Oh, that doesn't look too bad.
No, I just had to cut through them. I do like planting 1 gallons because they are so much easier to plant. Get this one in here. How's that look?
That looks so good.
And then we'll do one more.
Are you going to try the auger?
I don't think I need to. I know what I'm going to hit. I already know. Wow.
It's going to be some big roots there.
Yeah.
Sorry, tree.
So superficial too, like so surface. Didn't run into any more bulbs though.
Yeah, I think at a certain point I gave up because it started being too hard to plant as I got closer to the tree.
I think that brings us to the end of our hydrangea room additions for this year. 4 additional hydrangeas.
Beautiful. Over here on the west side of the house, we have a few spots that we do want to replace with hydrangeas, funny enough. Our tastes have changed a little bit. This has gotten a little bit too mishmashy, and you know that we like things planted together. So if it's too mishmashy for us, it's probably very mishmashy. So the catmint, the lamium, and this deutzia that honestly isn't thriving in this location are going to be moving out. They'll be going down the street to a friend. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this deutzia out first.
Now we have 2 of these deutzias. One of them is doing much better than this one. And this was a clearance deutzia. And it was one of those moments at the end of the season where we just kind of thought, ooh, it's on sale, it's $5, let's grab it. So our friend can have it. They're just finishing with their renovation, and they're gonna have this. You'll see. We'll share it with you. We're helping them with their landscaping.
I'm just getting some of the dirt off. I'm not massacring it, I promise.
Make it a little bit lighter.
But, I mean, it put out good roots.
Yeah.
It just didn't put out good anything else. So, actually, I think this would be fantastic in a landscape. It's a really nice little plant. Now, lamium, that's going to be a bit of a beast to remove. And yes, it's going to be coming up in this place for a long time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna leave the lamium along the back there to keep, you know, that ground cover in there. But what I realize is happening on the west side here is it's been such an afterthought for us for a number of years, and we keep just trying to kind of fix it. And now I'm thinking, all right, we have some really good solid back layers of the border, and we're kind of missing that mid tier. And so to go from the Ember Waves Arborvitae there to lamium, we're kind of missing a little bit of the leveling that we have in other spots in our garden.
Very good way to put that, leveling.
And so by putting the Invincible Rubies here on the west side, yes, they're going to get that hot afternoon sun, but in our zone, they should be fine as long as we keep them on drip. We do have quite a number of smoothleaf hydrangeas in full sun in our garden that are just doing dandy.
Doing dandy.
So the idea is to remove this pink Chablis lamium. And in our area, they sell this as an annual for containers and stuff. It's so easy to find.
Very easy to find. In fact, we find it everywhere on the east side because it loves to hang out.
So we're just gonna remove that. And then the next chunk that Christopher is going to remove after he gets done with this lamium is that Neptune catmint. I'm pretty neutral about it. Christopher strongly dislikes it. So if you don't like it, just take it out of the garden.
And I strongly dislike it because honestly, this is what it looks like in the fall for us every year.
I'm noticing this one speck of lamium right there, and if you leave it, it's gonna come back.
Oh, that would have rooted in a heartbeat. Honestly, I like this already.
I do too.
Now, was the Neptune the Neptune catmint requested, or is this going away?
That is not requested.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice catmint, but it's not.
You know, I think it's one of those plants that looks good when it looks good, and when it looks bad, it's not worth keeping.
And we like a traditional catmint, like a Walker's Low or. Continuing the revamp of this area, this Wine and Roses Weigela and its two friends are coming out. This Wine and Rose Weigela was planted maybe 4 years ago, Christopher?
Yeah, it just has never liked it here.
It's kind of scraggly, a little bit meh. And then next to it are two Ito peonies on each side. This is a design choice from like 4 or 5 years ago before we finally found our groove. So these are coming out because it's just not the right placement for them. Everything's being rehomed to our friend's house. And then this is a giant mass of foliage coming out, but we're gonna put a very tiny plant in its place that someday soon will get very large.
Well, that isn't gonna take much at all. Look at that.
So this is a Barcella Ito peony, which I know sell for a small fortune.
Yeah,
looks like I've divided it.
You have divided it, I think, into 4 pieces potentially.
All right.
Well, that's like $200. Who owns that? Who owns that patent?
I don't know. We could do a nice hedge of Ito peonies somewhere. Can I hand these to you, Christopher?
You may.
This Wine of Roses might be a little bit tougher. It has been in here a while.
Once you get some lift, you might want to cut it from behind so that it doesn't lift up all the metal edging.
Well, I think the brown drip goes right along the back. That's why I'm avoiding it.
Oh, thank you for your considerations.
Also, what's funny about this one is I always thought that they put 2 plants in this one pot, this grower. So I bet this can also be divided. I mean, I know you can't traditionally divide shrubs, but I think the grower, whoever it was,
Put 2 little ones in one pot to make it look bigger.
to beef it up a little bit. Trying to be careful of drip and metal edging. I think I'm just gonna have to rip.
You got this.
Oh, I don't want to rip this direction because then I'm gonna pull all the dirt onto the stone.
Onto the stones.
See, I try to plan ahead a little bit. Yep, see, there was the drip. Found it.
Awesome. It's out, pretty much.
It's out, but see how I think there's 2 plants in there?
There's definitely 2 plants. That's so funny. Wow, I mean, it's such a big shrub for looking so fugly.
We'll get this other eye toe out. Oops. Wow, nice roots.
Very nice roots.
Very nice, very nice. So what's going in this space here is our Pinky Winky Prime Hydrangea. It is a 1 gallon size, but it's eventually going to get about 6 to 9 feet tall and wide. So it's gonna fill this entire space. Again, we're on the west side, so it's not necessarily like fullest of the full sun, but I think it's gonna get a good 6 to 8 hours of sun per day in the hottest part of the day. Pinky Winky is a panicle hydrangea. It blooms on new wood. It's an improved version of the original Pinky Winky. I guess bigger blooms.
Bigger blooms, I think they're a little moppier. They're not as fully lace as the original Pinky Winky.
So it's gonna look a little bit puny this year, but we can always fill with annuals in the meantime as we wait for it to grow. Totally fine. Again, I have my bucket of
Carbon Pro G.
Carbon Pro G. We already have drip here. Look, I did make a little bit of a mess with the dirt back here.
That's okay. I think you should try to plant that pretty close to the edge, just knowing that it is going to grow in all directions.
Yes.
There is something freeing about planting in the fall, not just because, you know, you're tucking your plant in for winter, but also there is just something so nice about not having to be so meticulous.
I know. I do like that because I feel like in the spring, the pressure to be, you know, perfect and not make a huge mess gets a little, and of course it's self-imposed pressure. So I don't even know what I'm complaining about. This is all compost. So this is what's also really nice about using compost is you just mush it all in and it's improving the soil. What do you think of putting our Dinky Pinky Winky Prime right here?
I think that's a prime location.
All right. I've already got the drip right behind it. There are emitter holes right there, so we're good with that. Really,
Is it really root bound?
yeah, we've had this since the spring. We've been waiting all season to find a spot for it.
I think you need to go deeper.
You think?
Yeah.
I can't see from that side.
Yeah, I would say you need to go almost 1.5 inches deeper. Yeah, that is so funny, giving it that much space, but that's what it needs.
And it's a baby, so.
And it's gonna be great because that'll get that 6-foot height. Here we have the lilac. Emily Bronte rose. We always talk about this being a beast, and in fact, those are 3 roses looking like a beast. And then this blue feathers Hinoki cypress will very slowly get to a nice little pyramid shape. And that blue with the beautiful Pinky Winky white and pink variegation in the blooms will be so pretty. These are Riptide Stokes Aster. One is kind of
Totally
bloom
stoked.
right there, totally stoked. So those look really good. That blue and this blue and the night embers. This is that campfire marshmallow Bidens. I love this plant. It's really, really a clear white, and I think that sets it apart from some other white daisy looking flowers that get a little yellowy in the white.
Question for you, Christopher.
Answer.
There's a lot of rabbit damage on this lamium right here.
Let's
Will you
take
grab
it.
me a little cage for this? Thank you. We have our little cloche. This all grows on new wood, so I'm not too worried about anything. I just don't want,
Just to protect it a little bit.
just to protect it a tiny bit. It doesn't look amazing, but it's good for the shrub to be protected from the rabbits. Now it's time to get those other Invincible Rubies in the ground.
So we did a little playing around with the 5 Invincible Rubies that we're going to be placing in here. And what we've come to realize is these night embers would look so much nicer tucked up here at the front of the border in front of Ember Waves and the blue bubbly Baptisia. So we're going to actually lift these, slide them over, and then create a lovely stand of the Invincible Ruby in this spot.
We might have to take one of those bindings out too to really get the spacing down.
That's okay. That's the beauty of annuals.
The bees are like, hold up, where are you going with my lunch?
Wait. Yeah, I mean, look at that color combination.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice.
That's the one. That is the choice.
And then I'll kind of arrange them over here. What are there, 8 of them?
I think there's 8 there,
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7. I love reworking flower beds. It can be a little daunting at first, but once you get the groove going and you can see what it's going to be, it's very nice. It's a fun project.
And then do you want me to take both bidens out so they're out of the way?
Yeah, let's just take them out. I know you love them, but
I do love them.
just shake as much dirt off of them as you can so we're not left with holes. So what I'm going to do is place the rubies and then work from there. I wanted to show you how rocky this section of our soil is.
It's amazing. I know it's backfill, but it is pure rocks on the west side of the house.
That's maybe why the sedum likes it here. I don't know.
This looks incredible.
Thank you. While you were just putting some stuff away, I just pulled up an aster and chopped it in half.
That's a great idea.
So now we have 5.
They look so good. Those get really big. Look at how good this is. You've got the cool foliage of the Baptisia, gold, the night embers, and the green. Great little vignette.
Whew. Oh, yes. That did it. Sold. West side upgrade.
West side upgrade.
Let's do our hydrangea count, and then we'll water everything in. Let's count the hydrangeas. We haven't counted since when, Christopher?
Probably last year. So this is going to be very fun.
I don't even know what we're up to. I know we have 6 wee whites right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 wee whites. We have 1 vanilla strawberry. That's 7. A firelight tidbit. 8. Nothing there. More firelight tidbits. 9, 10, 11. I know there are 14 Invincible Spirit 2s. So 11 plus 14 is 25.
25.
There's 4 of these wee whites. So that's 29.
Okay.
29 hydrangeas so far.
Gatsby Pink makes the even 30.
30 hydrangeas. We have a Let's Dance Sky View here. That's 31. 32 with the Lime Ricky. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37.
With the Innocent.
With the Wee Bit Innocent. 37, 38 with the Light O'Day.
Yes.
39 with the Limelight Prime.
Okay, 39 with the Limelight Prime.
39, okay. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Reach 50. 51.
Yes.
52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. There's 4 of them here, so this is 69. 70 with the Quickfire Standard. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75 right here. So we're up to 75 already.
75 before we even go through the arch.
Oh man, all right.
Continuing this way, there's 76 with the other Gatsby pink. Jumping back across, 7, 8, 79 with the tough stuffs. There are 3 Seaside Serenade Cape Lookout, bringing us to 82. 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. It's a really pretty one. 94.
Whoa, you missed these. There's 4.
95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103.
All right, let's go back up this side. So we're already at 103. I think there's 6 sublimes here.
Correct. So we're at 109. We have 3 here, so we have the 112.
This is where we got to start looking closely.
Okay, 112.
Oh my God, we went a few feet without a hydrangea. What are we going to do?
We're going to plant some hydrangeas.
3 quick fire fabs in there. So that's 115.
115. That was close. 160.
Okay, let's finish this bed.
Oh my gosh, I would have forgotten those. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
121. Oh man.
122, 123, 124.
Are we going to finish this bed before we move on?
There's no more hydrangeas in that bed.
Yes, there are. There's 4 Invincible lace right here.
Oh my gosh.
So that's 128.
128.
And then over here, there are 3 Glacier Bay.
132.
All right. And then there's 3 135.
135, Little Lime Punch.
Yep. I think that's it for... Oh, and then there's 2 Gatsbys.
137.
Okay, now...
Let's get the berm.
Start at one end and go to the other. We're at 137, you said?
Yep, so there's a little lime, Limelight Prime over yonder.
So what does that bring us to?
138.
138.
5 Limelight Little Limes.
139, 140, 141, 142, 143. There's 3 tough stuff, so that's 146. There's a Pinky Winky, that's 147.
Okay.
This hedge. So 147 plus 15 is
162.
162.
3
That brings us over
pufferfish.
to the 3 pufferfish for 165. Another top fun. 166. 167.
168, 169, 170, 171, 172.
72. We've got 5 lace. 177.
177.
We have a prime. 170.
78. 79, 80, 81. Plus 4 tidbits, bringing us to 185 total hydrangeas.
Really? We didn't break 200?
No, we didn't add that many hydrangeas this year. Huh.
We're at 185. All right, we have to plant 15 more.
You get right on that one. We forgot 4, Eric.
Yeah, we forgot the cascading hydrangeas in the urn.
Oops. All right, so 189. That is a respectable number.
Yeah, now we only need 11 more. Should we show everybody our bed we did last weekend?
Yeah, let's show everybody what we did.
We just did it on our own. We didn't film it because it was just on a whim. We went to the garden center and found this rolled doll. This is a David Austin Rose's rolled doll. You'll never guess how much it was on clearance in a parking lot at a garden center. $12.99.
$12.99 for
we could not turn it down.
Gorgeous specimen.
So we planted this last weekend. You can see this verbena is all very wilty because I yanked it out of another section of the garden and put it here just because I wanted to reseed on this side of the garden. It's not going to come back for us. We just wanted to drop its seed here. We did transplant 3 coral bells that are maybe dressed up evening gowns.
They are dressed up evening gowns.
Look at me with a coral bell name. Transplanted and divided some anemones, so they're looking a little droopy, but they're going to rebound fine. We had that Sun King Aurelia seedling. Yeah, I planted it back there, and it mostly flopped, but I think in the center, Christopher, is that a surviving leaf?
There is a surviving leaf. It kind of looks like it just abandoned ship on anything it couldn't support.
Yeah, and if that Sun King Aurelia takes off back there...
Ooh, so pretty, that color.
That like burst of gold. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work, we're going to divide this one that we have in our shade garden anyway. And then these are all Invincible lace because we wanted that big billowy look right here. And then we dug up, cut back and divided some Walker's Little Catmint. So that looks pretty terrible right now, but it's going to look great next year. This Invincible lace is going to be big and billowy. We'll have that catmint. We'll have that dark purple of the coral bell underneath the orange of the rolled doll. And then these are new for 2025, right?
Yes, they're new for 2025.
They're called Stay Classy. They're a dwarf cherry, purple leaf sand cherry. So they're going to be a reddish purple foliage. They get about 3 by 3. They're a little tight here, but they'll be nice and full.
Yeah, I think this will be a good spot, especially because the catmint's so loose and they're a little bit more thicker foliage. Behind them is a plant that I really lobbied for. I fell for it. This is the Bloomerang Dwarf Pink Reblooming Lilac. We actually cut a lot of flowers off to do our flower arranging the other day. But when I pulled this out, excuse me, from in front of the Tromner spruce, it had such robust roots. It was so healthy that it just deserved a place here in the garden. And look at the difference in the foliage between that and the cut leaf. So nice. And that Miss America hosta to add a little more texture in the back.
Bravo. So we get that all watered in. This is Claire Austin looking great. We did cut the last of the flowers for our bouquets the other day. But let's get this new stuff watered in. So again, this is the Night Ember sedum that we just transplanted and kind of divided involuntarily. It just divided itself at some points.
Yeah.
We'll get that watered in.
Next year, this is going to come back as a very robust stand with that nice dark foliage and the contrast up against the Ember Waves.
I really like that.
Gorgeous.
Really pretty. And then we have our drift of 5 Invincible Ruby hydrangeas. We have to water the ones on the other side in as well when we're done today. So we have our 5 Invincible Rubies. Back there is our Pinky Winky Prime, which has all the space it's going to need at the moment. But this is one of the reasons why I'm like, we don't have time to wait for that to get bigger. So we might end up with some annuals in there next season.
So, yeah, we'll put something in there that wants to enjoy its time for the season.
And then we have these totally stoked Riptide asters. Speaking of Riptide, while Christopher was putting stuff away, I ripped one in half so that we'd have an odd number. We had 4 and now we have 5.
Well, I will tell you, the 3 of them were incredibly root bound. They were really solid in the can when I first planted them, so they were probably due a division.
I'm happy with how this bed is coming together. Thank you so much for joining us today as we added more hydrangeas and then counted them up. What are we at?
189.
189. 11 more to go for me to be satisfied. Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening.
Thanks for growing with us.